Hey guys, coming to you with a COVID-19 update on how I'm feeling. Today is day 11/12, I think. Yes. I feel like today is the first day that I'm starting to be able to breathe a little bit better. I still have a lot of just junk in here. I have physically felt like I have had maybe like a tight belt around. In fact, I kind of keep grabbing my shirt and going like this because it feels like it's tight up against my chest and my neck. I also feel like I've had a belt maybe wrapped around like my head, and it gets real tight at times. This COVID has, like, every day has brought different weird symptoms. I have a friend who has a rash all over her face. My husband, one of his biggest aches and pains was in his right glute, which was good for a laugh, but that was like only one of those first couple of days. His right glute was just killing him. So a lot of the shakes are really bad. I just got done having a little bout of shakes, just where I'll just be sitting and I just start to shake. But with all of that, I have shared with you a lot of the feeling of panic, feeling like you're suffocating, feeling overwhelmed, anxiety. I just talked to somebody who's honestly like in their third week of dealing with COVID and just feeling very agitated. Obviously, when you're down and out and you have all of these things that need to be done and you need to be doing, like, that's mentally and emotionally taxing in and of itself. But to be dealing with this virus that obviously attacks the nervous system in so many different ways is on a whole nother level of anxiety, panic. Again, I think today is the first day I haven't had, at least at one time, an emotional breakdown of some sort, of feeling panicked, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like I'm never going to get better, just all kinds of lies that come with this virus. And so the best thing I know is to just be open, honest, transparent, because I don't think they're talking about this as much as, I don't know, maybe I've been in a whole, like, I know they're talking about COVID and the symptoms of COVID. I just have not heard the mental and emotional symptoms, the bad dreams. Again, just a lot of the feeling of panic, irrational thoughts. I shared in yesterday's video, maybe it was the day before, of moments of feeling overwhelmed, almost suicidal. And again, like, not having thoughts of actually going through it, but some of that is because I am mentally and emotionally aware, and certainly spiritually aware. And I was like, knew immediately, like, when these thoughts of just dread and panic and extreme hopelessness were coming on me, I knew that was straight up an attack from the devil. And so I have said in every video, and I cannot stress enough, that this is why it is so important that we as a people of God are girded up with the word so that we can fight, and we are armed to be able to battle for our lives and be able to battle for our bodies. If we can't battle for our own lives and our own bodies, how are we going to do it for people around us? So I've today have obviously continued the battle, continued the declarations, just declaring what is true, declaring what is right, declaring what God has promised me. Starting to put those on my Instagram. If you haven't been watching my Instagram, I'm going to start giving you daily declarations. We're just going to just jump into January 2021, just every day, just declaring a truth, that I am filled with the fullness of life, that I am filled with the breath of God, that I am anointed, I am established. I have, God has a plan for me and a path for me. He has a plan to prosper me and not to harm me, a plan to give me a hope and to give me a future, that I am like the Proverbs 31 woman, that I am leaning in and I am laughing at the days to come. And so I just, you have to be so quick at declaring these things. So you can probably see, and compared, again, I just have so much stuff in my throat, and which again can cause you to feel a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit panicked. But you can see over the last couple of days that I'm starting to mentally get a little bit more focused. So I had days 1 through 5. I was like, I had no idea I had COVID. I thought I had just a bug of some sort. And quite honestly, because on day 3 and 4, I felt a little better, /5. I was like, oh, I'm kicking this. And then day 6 hit. And day 6, 7, and 8 were awful. Like as far as not having breath in my lungs, couldn't lay down, felt like I was suffocating, overwhelming feelings of panic, not knowing should you go to the emergency room, should you not go to the emergency room, just kind of, you know, following advice as far as, well, I'm not super lethargic, I'm not incoherent, somewhat cognizant, but very foggy headed, super weird symptoms. At one point I had, my fingers would get tingly a lot. When I stand up, you feel like there's just no blood getting to your no oxygen getting to your brain. Obviously, still maybe. And then, so that was 5, 6, 7, kind of 8. 8, I stopped getting worse on day 8. But then 8, 9, 10 were very frustrating because there was just no progress. It's like you hit this plateau and I just stayed the same and kept thinking, oh, tomorrow I'll feel better. Tomorrow I'll feel better. And I was not getting any better, but I wasn't getting any worse. So I was like, okay. Today I woke up, last night I actually slept well, which was great. Today I woke up and finally feel better enough that I'm encouraged. Some of the anxiety has really settled down quite a bit for me, which is great. I feel like I can think a little bit better today. I definitely have still a little bit of a tight feeling here, the belt around my neck. Mind you that I am still taking Tylenol, Aleve. I'm taking Dayquil every 4 hours. And so I keep thinking I'll be able to go without it. I'm also on antibiotic and a steroid, which, by the way, I had to fight for. And I'm doing breathing treatments with a nebulizer. So this is where I'm at in day 11, but I'm feeling encouraged. I feel like I'm starting to at least tip in the right direction, but I'm also very aware that this virus is tricky. And it's tricked a lot of people. And so I am trying to rest in the Lord and trust in God's timing and stay relaxed and rest physically as well. Which, if you guys know me, that's hard. It's really hard for me to just sit and rest. Actually, it's not been hard today. I'm still very tired, very exhausted. But that's my update. So I, more than anything, am making these videos because I feel like there's a lot of awareness of some of the physical side effects and physical effects of this, but I don't feel like there's a lot of awareness of some of the mental and emotional effects. So if you or somebody that you know has struggled or is struggling with COVID, please share this video with them. Look, I don't care about subscribing. I don't care about all that stuff. I really just want people to know that God sees them and that they are not alone if they are struggling mentally and emotionally with COVID. It's so hard because you're isolated in so many ways. I just can't imagine people who are in the hospital and have to be isolated. I just speak armies of, I just feel awful for them, armies of angels to just keep them company, to be around about them. In the name of Jesus, I just really want you guys to be encouraged. I want you to encourage other people. Leave a comment below if you have struggled with this, if you've been through COVID. Man, I'm gonna tell you what's so encouraging is when somebody says, I had COVID in October and I'm feeling so much better. Like, that is like life to me. So God uses his people to speak words of encouragement and words of life. So be a part of that and share your experience. If you know of somebody, man, check on them, let them know, hang in there, you're almost through it. And I realize that a lot of people have had COVID and have not had extreme symptoms. Great, bless you. But I also know that the more I've talked about some of the symptoms I've had, that people have come out and said, man, I really struggled with some of those things as well. And I really appreciate you sharing those things. So let's talk about it. Because that is the #1 way to disarm the enemy, is to cast light on his wicked ways and the wiles of the devil. So if you would help me shed light and share some of your experience, share this video, and let's talk about some of the effects mentally and emotionally so that we can come alongside people who are in the midst of it, in the throes of it, and encourage them. All right, y'all, that's it for today. Day 11 COVID update. Remember, enforcing purpose, it starts with you.